So this is a Ramble video, and it's a response to Sugelanren's pickled garlic and 50,000 views. And because I don't have a lot of time to give anyone a shout out for Friday, my follow Friday shout out is also Sugelanren, even though I know I've probably shouted him out before. That's it. That's all I got time for. Sorry about the noise. This is cough drops, okay? Because my tonsils are inflamed. Like, I don't have a cold, okay, but I just have this sore throat, and I know where I got it. See, I was sitting in Armstrong Hall in the theater, right, and it was me, and then Richard Dawkins, and then my friend Nick Northrop. And we were up front, but right behind me was this cunt sore of a young lady who came to this show with such a sickness, right, that she had to cough every 30 seconds, like fucking Old Faithful, like the geyser. Like, every fucking 30 seconds she had to cough, okay? If you are that sick, you should not go to a fucking crowded theater, okay? Here I am, a germaphobe, and I'm lecturing from this, like, pissed off perspective, but I mean it. I mean, it should be common sense to, like, anyone. Yes, you have a ticket to go see Richard Dawkins, but your lung is so congested that you can't stop coughing. You should realize you're going to be distracting people when there's an important conversation going on. If you love Richard Dawkins that much, don't fucking come to one of his shows and cough through the whole fucking thing. Most of her coughing happened during the 15 minutes that Catherine Stewart was at the podium. And, yeah. It was like I wasn't paying attention to Catherine Stewart at all. I had heard a lot of what Catherine Stewart was saying at previous engagements. But, yeah, it's like every 30 seconds. Like, that cough was mind-arresting. Like a Kurt Vonnegut story about the handicapper general, you know, putting, like, headphones on the smart people so that every time they start thinking, like, every 30 seconds a bzzz happens to them so that they're, like, just as dumb as everyone else. That's what this cough was like. And now I have a sore fucking throat. And see, the thing is, people took pictures, right? And I asked specifically for these pictures because I was sitting right next to Richard Dawkins. But I know who you are. In my mind, I have this picture of who you are. Girl who likes to cough all over people's fucking presentations. I know who you are. And I'm gonna see you again because you live in my fucking state. Okay? And I get around. Because now I'm sick. At least I did not get Richard Dawkins' cold. Which, he had, like, the kind of cold that was, like, dripping nose stuff. This is just a sore throat. Anyways, yeah. I'm going to leave some links in the description box so you guys can see what I'm talking about. We had Richard Dawkins, Catherine Stewart, Sean Faircloth, and a local lawyer named Eric Cernyar who had gone through the Good News Club. And they were all talking on a panel about the Good News Club. And the night before that, I was at a reception with all of these people for the Freethinkers of Colorado Springs, and I ate a lot of reception leftovers for the last 2 days because we had too much food. I had a lot of deviled eggs and a lot of, like, lettuce with this stuff that I have no idea what it is. It was like bruschetta on lettuce with, like, chickpeas in it, like, minced in. By the way, Richard Dawkins eats a gluten-free diet. I asked him about that, and he said, no, he's not gluten-free, but he thinks his daughter is, and he inherited it from her. And then, you know, it went over my head for a second. I was like, he's fucking with me, you know. Anyways, so today I had a whole bunch of meatballs, because there were too many meatballs cooked for this thing. While I was trying to make sure that we got all of our stuff in for the St. Patrick's Day Parade, which we did. We're going to have a float in the St. Patrick's Day Parade. That's awesome. How many times do you guys see a secular group getting a spot in a St. Patrick's Day Parade? You know, St. Patrick's Day. I think that's awesome. Anyways, where was I? The coughing girl. She is what I'm going to remember about Catherine Stewart's speech, is that somebody was coughing over my shoulder, and now I'm sick, right? And yeah, there's a lot of pictures to go through, and the links I'm going to leave in the description box. The best one, in my opinion, is for Megzobo69. It's a picture of him with Richard Dawkins, but what I want you to pay attention to about the picture is, like, down here, around chest level, is Megzobo69's name tag, and then there's Richard Dawkins' name tag, right? Because Richard Dawkins puts on his name tag, just like this, right here, he puts Richard Dawkins. Like nobody knows who he is. Check that photo. It's funny to me. You know, I was like, you know, but I guess, you know, everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time, and it's you know, he feels like everybody should wear the name tag if everyone's wearing name tags. Yeah. So Sugelanren, he makes this video about 50,000 views that he has, and the pickled garlic that he has. And the pickled garlic looks good. It looks really good. I've never had pickled garlic like he's showing right there. It looks like relish pickled garlic, like with sweetened stuff. The only pickled garlic I've had has been in the middle of a green olive. But that pickled garlic looked good. Like pickled by the clove, you know. And Sugelanren's talking about 50,000 views. And it doesn't show that for his regular channel views. But in your analytics, it shows all the views you've ever gotten. Your total history, right? Whoops. He's got his channel page set to autoplay, which is a good tip for all of you people. Set your channel page to autoplay, you'll get more views. Even though I just stopped it at 2 seconds, it's probably going to count as a view for him. But if you're in a network, that's one of the things that they'll tell you to do. To put your channel on autoplay. It's annoying, but being a YouTuber for a very long time, I'm just so used to it now, just to like hit pause on everything. Anyways, you've got more total views on your channel than you do views that your channel page is going to show. And this is why it's important that YouTube made this change. There are fuckers on YouTube who treat other YouTubers as if they're disposable. As if their continued attention is something they can throw away, and then when they come back to YouTube, they can just have all that attention back on them. And it is the truth sometimes that a lot of that attention does come back to them. But for somebody who has a couple of videos that get like 1 million views, and then they private those videos, and then they leave YouTube altogether for a year or 2 years and then come back, they play off all of that hype generated from those videos, right? They get this subscriber base that just doesn't seem to unsubscribe them because they haven't made anything in 2 years. They come back and they're right back in the swing of things. Where other people have been working very hard to try to build up a subscriber base and just can't seem to find any subscribers, in the world. One of the problems is YouTube's algorithm that decides what's in the sidebar has been taking into consideration the total channel views for a channel. And do you think that those total channel views should count towards the algorithm putting them in the sidebar over you if they've privated all of those videos and they only got those views years ago anyway, and they don't even let you see those videos anymore because they privated them? It's not really fair that they still get to be promoted as if they're a YouTuber that is a member of our community and continuing to share with us if they privated all those videos. So even though you still see your total channel views lifetime in analytics, and if you're just into the personal benchmarks, you can still see it there. I think it's great that YouTube has gone ahead and adjusted those numbers, because it's going to let all of those YouTubers who've been struggling to find an audience get ahead just a little bit more, because there's been a lot of YouTubers who have been monopolizing the sidebars just based on the fact that they had a lot of views before. And like I've said before, it's like Amway. The people who get in the beginning, thank you, a lowly apprentice. It's like the only analogy that I have in my mind for it now. But it's the people who get in first, no matter whether they deserve it or not, they're the ones who we're feeding just by virtue of having a YouTube channel ourselves. Because each one of us is bringing 5 or 6 people a year to YouTube, to the addiction of watching other people instead of watching overproduced crap. We're watching other people, right? And we bring a few more people in with us. And what do those people end up watching? Whatever is promoted in the sidebar is where their channel, where their viewing will start to go, right? So even though we might bring them into our personal friend circle, they're still going to find some of those YouTubers that have millions upon millions of views, and it's not that those channels necessarily deserved those views in the first place, because the system just seems to funnel towards those people that were there in the beginning. There are outliers to this, in my opinion. I would say the Thinking Atheist, for one, is an extreme outlier. He was able to buck that curve with his production polish, and at one point I did have more subscribers than him, okay, and he just skyrocketed. And I don't really think that it had much to do with the shout-outs that he's received. I really do think that it was based on his content. And bravo for him, But for every one outlier like that, I could probably point to 100 of people that that they'll put out great content and just can't seem to get the audience, and it's frustrating. So I feel for some people. Yeah. My correction between my privated videos and the videos that you can still see on YouTube. If I go to my channel page, the total views right now are 474. Now, a while back, I actually made a video celebrating 500,000 views. I've had the channel views on my channel page reduced just a bit because I do have some privated videos. Those videos have actually been moved over to my archive channel, but I'm not going to get credit for that anymore. You know, basically 10% deduction from the algorithm factor of how many views have you had on your entire channel. Now, going to Social Blade, I think they're still drawing from the analytics page and not from the channels view page. So on Social Blade right now, it's showing that I have 526,000. Yeah, 526,000. So 10% of my views don't count towards me getting in the sidebar anymore. And for what it's doing to those people who make a whole bunch of views and then private those videos so you can never see them again, I will take the hit of 10%. Okay? That's fine with me. Case in point, Theo Warner. Now, I was in a Google Plus hangout with him quite recently. You can find an excerpt of that on my channel, but he's privated since he's unlisted the video that was generated from that Google Plus hangout because he likes to be done with the video after a while, you know. Theo Warner. Let's type that into the okay, so on Social Blade it shows that Theo Warner has 500,000 views on the videos that he hasn't deleted, just the ones that are like privated. But if we go to his channel page, I wonder if he has any videos up. It shows that he has 3,571. And, you know, almost 6,000 subscribers. 5,700 subscribers. This means that I have a greater chance to end up in the sidebar on that one part of like 10 different factors that go into deciding what goes on the sidebar. Because he is doing it to himself. But I think it's fair because he is hurting the community that is YouTube by putting up videos, letting people watch them, letting a conversation start, and then taking that conversation away from the entire community like it never happened, like it only happened for that time and now it's gone. And if you don't remember it, you're not allowed to search for it. You don't get to see it, okay? It's not how I feel like operating in a community. I feel like leaving up a historical record of all of those comments, you know. I feel more a part of the community than I guess he does, you know. And I feel like if you're going to act in a way that hurts the community by taking videos down after very productive conversations have happened in the comment sections of them, and just pull all that down after like offering it out to people, that's not being a good community member. So you don't deserve to be rewarded for that by having that added boost of those views in that part of the algorithm that puts you into the suggested videos box on the side. So I'm actually happy with what YouTube did. Mark this day on your calendars, people. I think that is an improvement. And I really like the readjustments that were done to a lot of the music channels, the Vivos and whatnot, that have taken down videos and re-uploaded other videos and decided, oh, you guys don't get to see the other version of this music video because we found something we wanted to edit out or, you know, whatnot. I like that they're being adjusted because a lot of what you see on the sidebar, you know, is not... The U is gone from YouTube. So it's giving a lot of smaller channels a better chance. It's not that much more of a chance, but anything that gives smaller channels a better chance, I think, is a good thing. And for those of you who were like expecting me to come back and talk about Bible Thumping Wingnut or Inventor Gorilla or Suicideforcelluloid or Roman Missile Exegy, I don't know. I don't have a lot of time to put some thought into a response to all of it. I will say that there's part of what Suicideforcelluloid said that I think is close to something, a thought that I've had and expressed to people, in that if you're going to be arguing reality with an evangelical Christian, you shouldn't be quoting the Bible as a source of authority at all. And if you're just talking about how they should run or follow their religion, or, you know, adhere to it, still, like, it's a better stance of authority if you're arguing just natural common sense things, or arguing from some study that shows that if you do something it's going to hurt you, rather than trying to use their own verses against them, because, you know, you're basically ceding some authority to the Bible itself. And as an atheist, that's kind of stupid. Wow. And I had Inventor Gorilla leave a comment on my channel saying, I'm down-thumbing this because you didn't use any scriptural references for what you said. And what I said in that video was basically, don't judge others. You know, that was like the big overarching message. And if you are a Christian, okay, and you need me to give you the scriptural reference for don't judge other people, then holy shit. I don't know, maybe he's trolling me and he just wants me to open the Bible a little bit more. You know, maybe he thinks it's you know, if he comes off like an idiot, that's okay, because he wins if I open the Bible, you know? And that's why I get what Suicideforcelluloid was trying to say, in a way. You know, that I've been just as bad by giving the Bible any authority. You know, maybe we're looking at it from a little bit different perspective, but I will agree that I should not use what's in the Bible as any sort of authority to argue with. Gotcha. So yeah, after I finish the honey lemon cough drops, I'll be on to the cherry cough drops, because of the girl who could not stand to stay at home and then drive an hour north to see Dawkins on the next day. No, this girl had to sit behind me and cough all the fuck over me. And now I have a sore throat. Check out Sugelanren's channel.